Hi Flosstube, welcome back to my channel. My name is Caitlin. This is Stitch, Read, Repeat. You found a channel on YouTube all about cross stitch and my love of reading. So thank you for joining me today. If you're new, welcome. I'm glad that you're here. And if you're coming back, thank you for joining me again. Today's Friday, October 3rd, also known as the Life of a Showgirl album release day. If you're a Taylor Swift fan, I am too. Welcome. I've been listening to it pretty much nonstop since about 5 o'clock this morning. So I was like, you remember when you were a kid and you woke up on Christmas morning super early and you just couldn't get back to sleep? It was me this morning. It's crazy, but I've loved Taylor since the beginning. I saw her open for Rascal Flatts at a concert in Omaha, Nebraska when I was in high school. She's just about the same age as me, so it's been interesting to grow up kind of alongside her and go through these eras of her musical style and performance, and I'm excited for this new era. I will say that it's not quite what I was expecting from her album, but I am enjoying it and seeing the movie tonight, so I've got lots of thoughts. But you're not here for Taylor Swift, you are here for cross stitch, so welcome. Lots to talk about today. I've got a couple finishes to show you, a lot more whips than I expected. I've worked on a lot of things since I last saw you. A number of gifts to share. I recently celebrated my birthday and you all were so kind to me. And then I've got some purchases, including an unboxing of Floss and Flame's Halloween Advent box. So stay tuned for that. Some book talk at the end, like always. So the first finish I want to show you is one that I showed you last time, but I actually fully finished it now and want to show you what that looks like. So I'm going to put a picture on the screen. This is called Yikes by Bent Creek. It's a chart from, I think, 1998. I stitched it on a 32 count flannel flower by Fox and Rabbit linen, and I used all of the called for DMC flosses. I stitched this with two strands of floss over 2 linen threads and finished it into this little pillow. And then I used one of those light bulb safety pins to put some antique buttons on and finished it like this. So I'm pretty happy with how it turned out, and my recipient seemed to enjoy it as well. So that was a fun little fall retreat, or fall swap, I should say, that I did through a Facebook group. My next finish is one that I've done since I started and finished since I last saw you. This is going to be a gift for a coworker. We recently found out that one of my coworkers was born in the year 2000, and that blew my mind. The coworker that this gift is for is also a 90s baby. She's from the 1900s, I should say. And that's what this chart says. It says, "Be patient with me. I am from the 1900s." This is a thing now, which is crazy. I've seen a lot of memes online about, kids coming home from school asking their parents about the 1900s. I think my coworker will get a kick out of this. So I stitched this. This is a 20 count Ada from Fiber on a Whim in the color Eggshell, and it's just 2 colors of DMC. I'm going to stitch that with 1 strand of floss. I pulled this pattern off of Etsy. I could look it up and tell you if you were really curious, but just a quick little stitch. I'm probably going to finish it in a hoop. She can just set it in her office on a shelf. I thought it was pretty funny. All right, moving right into works in progress. These are things that I touched since I've last seen you. Some of these are new starts. Actually, 5 of the 6 are new starts, and one is a one that I've had going for a while. So here we go. And I didn't pull any of this out, so you're gonna have to bear with me. All right, this first one at the top of the pile is my birthday start, actually. And if you were here last time, you heard the story, but this is Henriette de Soldat, 1937, by Hands Across the Sea. Totally unlike anything I've ever stitched. It's a giant piece, but it's dated my birthday, September 28th. It also talks about a Saturday's child. I was born on a Saturday. There's some other things in here that are meaningful to me, but it's, like I said, very large. I'm stitching it with the called for DMC conversion, and I always start in the top left corner. So let me show you what I've got done. This is on a 46 count linen in the color Time Worn by Mystic Fabrics. I have a needle threaded here, but no, it's not hanging, it's just on the side. But this is where we're at. My little 46 count. So it's small, it's enjoyable linen to stitch on. I've done 3 of those motifs across the top, and you can see I've got a long way to go. But just this is easy because it's monochromatic right now, so just that same color all the way across, and I'm enjoying this. So I'll move closer, you can look at my stitches and judge me. So enjoying how this looks. I like the color of this linen. It's just 1 DMC right now, but it's looking pretty nice, and yeah, looking forward to continuing this long-term project. Okay, something else that I started since I last saw you. Let me see here. Sorry. I've mentioned several times that I am part of the a sampler guild here in Delaware. We are national, so we have members all over the country, but I am in Delaware, so I get to attend, you know, in person. And it's called the Delaware Valley Historic Sampler Guild. We meet monthly, sometimes a hybrid meeting where we meet in person and online, and sometimes just online. It's very reasonable, $25 for the year, and there's a lot of classes and lectures, and it's just interesting to learn about the history of needlework and different styles, different techniques. And one of those techniques that we learned, they've brought this designer in a couple times now, and it's a nice combination of applique, wool applique, and cross stitch, and some actual finishing practice. So this is Teresa's Primitive Treasures. She designed this sewing roll for us. And so I'm going to show you what I got done in class and then what I still have yet to do. So she gave us the fabric for the inside of the roll. Everything came as pieces, if you will. So she gave us, this is the linen for the outside. And so I stitched our guild, and I stitched my initials and the year. So I, you know, if there was 30 of us taking the class, there's going to be 30 of these that are identical. So I wanted to make sure that mine, I knew which one was mine. So I got the cross stitch complete. And then there was wool work. So she gave us large pieces of wool, and we had to cut out shapes and sew them or do different things. So these are the pockets that are going to go on the inside. So this is, you're going to stuff it. It's going to become like a pin cushion. This one's got a flap, or I'm sorry, this one is going to, yeah, it's got a flap, and it's going to be a needle book. And then this one is going to, you're going to sew it down along the edge like this, and you're going to tuck your scissors in. So on the picture, you can see there, down here, that's how it's going to look on the inside. So I got all of those cut out and put together. And then the other thing that I cut out and put together, and this took some time, it was an interesting process, and mine admittedly is a little wonky, but it's primitive, right? So it's okay. So this is going to be the berry bowl. So you had to cut out all of those felt pieces, sew them all on. You can see my triangles down here are really funny, but that's okay. I kind of like it, gives it some character. So this is going to go on the outside of that, on the actual cross-stitch linen piece in different sections. And so once I put it all together, then it'll be a tri-fold, and you can tie it up and keep it closed. So yeah, just practicing working with wool. You can see mine is not perfect, but I'm enjoying it. It's a new technique, a new skill, something I wouldn't have, you know, just gone out on my own to try. And Teresa is a wonderful teacher, and so she was very patient with me and helpful to all of the other ladies that took the class. So this is in my box of things to work on, things to do. I need to be in the right headspace, and it's going to be something where I'm probably going to have to like clear off the kitchen table and give myself a lot of room and just get all this done. So it's a lot of just sew this on, press this here, do this here. Not hard work, just time consuming. And so you might remember I have a 4-year-old, and she's very curious, and I don't think this would work very well if she were around to work on this. So I love her, but she likes to be very involved. And so maybe not the best time to work on this project, but one of these days when she's out and about, maybe I'll work on this and get this done. I think if I were to give myself another couple hours, I could finish this up. So looking forward to having it done, and it was a great learning opportunity for me. And Teresa's Primitive Treasure, she does have an Etsy shop, and she sells wood box or wood items for display. She also sells charts for wool applique projects, cross stitch projects. She also, I guess, hosts a retreat in the spring or summer. And so anyway, if you're interested, I would encourage you to check her out. All right, what's next? Okay, this is another new start. You might know or remember that I have done some model stitches for the local needlework shop I have here in Delaware called Floss and Flame. They're in Dover, and she asked if I wanted to do another model, and I said sure. So she picked out the pink peacock sampler. This is by Pansy Patch Quilts and Stitchery. Really beautiful piece. It's quite large, but I'm enjoying working on this one. Now the called for pink is, I believe, Flamingo by Gloriana, and Jen didn't have that in stock in her shop, so we picked a different pink, and I'm curious to hear what you think. So Jen is like me, and one of her favorite fabrics is Flannel Flower by Fox and Rabbit. I think it's so versatile. So we're doing this one on a 40 count Flannel Flower, and we're using the Gloriana in the color Cotswold Pink. And here she is. Very soft, very feminine. Depending on the light, it doesn't ghost necessarily, but the pink is very, very muted, very pale. But I am almost done with that alphabet. I've just kind of been working as I go, what makes sense for where I'm at. There's a big circular motif that starts down here, or oval, and it's got a big flower in it, and then the peacock is going to be kind of down here in the middle. So I'm enjoying this piece. It's working up quite quickly. Again, that one color project goes fast. You don't have to worry about changes and symbols and all of that, but enjoying this project. And on that 40 count, I do one strand of floss over 2 linen threads. This is another new start. And I have to open this up for you. So this was something that was called for Whipco, and if you haven't been around, I tried Whipco this year, and I've kind of fallen off the wagon as the year has progressed. But I still have those projects. I did my Whipco this year. They're all projects that I had kitted, just waiting to be started, and so now I'm starting them so I can just jump right back in. And I'm enjoying that. As you can see, I've started 5 things since I've last seen you. I like starting things. The challenge is now going to be, actually buckling down and finishing. But this is called Beautiful Things. It's by Lindy Stitches. Oh my darling, it's true. Beautiful things have dents and scratches too. This is copyright 2020. This is one of the first things I saw when I came back to cross stitch. I found Stephanie's Flosstube channel, and she talked about these bird samplers she was doing. I am not a super bird person, but I loved the quote on this. She licensed someone's poetry to put this on there. And I actually had my local needlework shop at the time, which was the Stitchery Nook in Osage, Iowa. I had them special order it for me because they didn't have it in stock. And so then Liz there at the Stitchery Nook helped me kit it up. So let me show you what I've gotten done. I'm stitching this on a 36 count linen, and I don't know where the color name went to, but this is what I've gotten done. Isn't that blue just, it's striking. I think the variation on it is so pretty. So this is the very top of the chart, obviously, top left, which is where I like to start. And you can see I've got that flower, so I've got the bird and the urn and stuff to do. I think I'm going to work all the way down on this one to get all that heavy stitching on the left done, and then I'll start on the words because that's what I really like to stitch. But I think that this looks so nice, and excited to have this one done, or started, I should say. So again, that's on a 36 count. I stitch 36 count most of the time with one strand of floss over 2 linen threads. So I like that coverage. All right, this chart, this is my one work in progress that I came into this past month with and continued working on. It was not a new start since I've seen you. And this is the chart Stonewall by Rebel Stitcher Designs. This is Pride Was Born from a Riot. And pays tribute to 3 activists that were there at Stonewall. And so Colleen finished it as a stand-up. I'm not sure how I'll finish it yet. I am going to send this to a friend of mine who is an artist and whose art was featured at the grand opening of the Stonewall National Monument Museum, or National Landmark. They opened it as like a national park almost, and Angie's work was shared there, and so I'm going to share this with them. And so this is where I'm going to stop for now. So I'm doing this on an 18 count Aida, 1 strand of floss over, you know, the Aida square. I just got in a kick with the black work, and I mean, there's a lot of rainbow in this, you know, all the letters, it's like the rainbow throughout the letter, so I've got to go back in and fill that in, but I'm feeling good about where I'm at. And that's as wide as the piece is, so it's not going to be very big. So this next one is a new start since I've seen you, and it's called Wallflowers. It's by the Scarlet House. I have a coworker who's having a baby in December, and her nursery theme she's having a little girl, and her daughter's nursery theme is wildflowers. So I thought this was perfect. I'm stitching it on a 32 count linen, and I'm gonna just have it framed when it's done. And so this is 32 count Desert Taipan by Fox and Rabbit with all of the called for overdyed flosses. And this is the start I've got. So I actually started this last night when I was stitching with some friends. So this is just one stitching session. It went together very quickly. And those flowers are all kind of crammed in there. So you might notice on the chart, there's some pink kind of scallops at the top and on the bottom. I'm not doing those to frame it. I'm just going to leave them as the flowers as they are. And I don't think I'm going to put personalization on there for her daughter. I think I might put the year and then just leave it. And that way she can do with it as she'd like in her home. But she knows that I stitch. She appreciates my stitching, and I think that she'll be touched that I did something small for her daughter. So anyway, enjoying this one. I think those colors are really popping, and I'm excited to watch it come together. Okay, next, gifts. So like I said, my birthday was September 28th, last weekend, and it was a pretty quiet day for me. I went and saw the new Downton Abbey movie, which I really enjoyed, and otherwise just kind of hung out, and that's okay. My daughter informed me that adult birthdays are boring, and I said, well, yeah, probably most of the time they are compared to a kid's birthday, but that's all right. So I've had a few gifts come in, and I just want to say thank you to my friends that were so generous and kind to me, and to all of you that sent me well wishes. I appreciate that as well. So my friend Ruth, she sent me a little package in the mail, and was so kind and so sweet. And so I haven't even opened it fully, so I'm going to open it here so you can actually see the thing, if I can. There we go. So this is a needle minder from Caterpillar Cross Stitch, and it's a stack of books, which Ruth knows me so well. And so it says, you know, mystery, crime, romance, fantasy, and thriller. So I like their needle minders, and I look forward to using this. And then Ruth was also incredibly generous, and she shared with me the Happy Heart Sampler by Birds of a Feather. This is one of the originals, and I'm just tickled. I think this is beautiful, and Ruth, thank you so much. I appreciate you. All right. Oh, where is it? Sorry. Hold, please. I had to show you one of my gifts I took out and was already using because I love it so much. So my friend Courtney, she sent me a card, and she had seen this pin somewhere, and so she and her husband worked together to make me a needle minder, and it's a flying pig, which I love pigs and I think that's hilarious. So thank you, Courtney, and to your hubby. She also bought me this beautiful pair of scissors, and they're like iridescent and beautiful. But my favorite part is she had them engraved, and so if you can see there, it says my name, which I think is pretty incredible on the scissors. So, Courtney, thank you. When I opened them up, before I even read your note, I saw my name and I was really surprised and touched. So that was a neat touch for someone who loves scissors like I do. Thank you. My friend Holly, who has a Flosstube, Hobbies of Holly, she sent me a sweet birthday card. I don't know if you made this, Holly, or if you purchased it, but it's handmade and I love it. And she had seen that I was starting Henriette Day Soldat for my birthday, and she sent me, I believe this was also in the red box, but it is a towel, a mat, a something, but it's the entire sampler. And it's large, and I think it's beautiful. So I know someone, I've met her one time and I follow her on Instagram, and she's been making these portfolios out of this. And so I'm going to reach out to her and see if maybe that's something that I could commission her to do for me. I'm not in any hurry to get it done, but I think that would be a neat way to utilize this project that's so meaningful to me. So Holly, thank you, and I appreciate your thoughtfulness. And then, like I said, I'm part of the Delaware Valley Historic Sampler Guild, and each year we have a program called Secret Stitcher. It's kind of like a Secret Santa or an exchange partner, but we keep the same person all year and we keep it a secret. So you're assigned a person, and then all year you send them little gifts, and you know, not anything crazy, but we do it for the 4 seasons and then also for someone's birthday. And so my gift came from my Secret Stitcher, and so she sent me this beautiful card with a sampler on the front. And then she sent me like a floss board, and I guess you could use it as a corner gauge, which I think is pretty. It's vintage or antique-y, which I like. And then I think this is hilarious, and I think my Secret Stitcher must know me. So it's a bookmark kit from Rovaris, and so it comes with the linen and all of the stuff to make the ends, but if you read it, that was upside down. It says Obstinate Headstrong Girl, which I would claim that title. So anyway, to my Secret Stitcher, thank you. I've never seen this chart before. I can't wait to stitch it because I think that's hilarious, and I'm gonna have to figure out either how to make that bookmark myself or commission someone to put that together for me. Okay, next. So we've got some purchases I'd like to show you. And so I'm sorry, one more gift. I'm getting ahead of myself. So recently, in the past several months, there was someone who I had just started getting to know in the stitching community here locally who had passed away unexpectedly. And as her friends and loved ones have been going through her items, they have been distributing her cross-stitch things. And so I was really touched to have received this from a friend who's been helping the family manage the estate. And this friend knows that I like nativities, and I'm really touched that I have this chart now in my possession and look forward to stitching it soon. This is by the Stitching Parlor, and it's called The Stars in the Heavens. It is a nativity scene with a stitched band around the edge of the star. I've never even heard of this designer, Clara Blaylock. It's copyright 2011, but I look forward to stitching this and having a sweet memory of my friend who passed, and appreciate the friend who gave this to me. Okay, now purchases. So I just have one chart to show you that I've purchased since I've last seen you. I've been waiting for this one. I saw it at Market in March at the Hands On Design booth, and it was part of part of the craft room series. Now this isn't really my aesthetic necessarily. Kathy, I love Kathy's designs, but sometimes her witty or quirky stuff doesn't really fit with what I like to display. But I saw this one and I said, I have to stitch that one. And so this is By the Scissors by Hands On Design. Life is short, buy the scissors. I think it's great. I'm probably gonna stitch it just like it is. I'm not gonna finish it like she does, but I love it. I love how it's all the different styles of scissors, and some of them are standing up and some are laying down, and she's got multiples of the same type, which tracks. Anyway, this is a fun chart. It's only 65 by 93, so there's no excuse why I can't just pull it together. And it's charted it all in DMC. So anyway, excited for this one. All right, so next I want to do an unboxing for you of the Floss and Flame Halloween Advent box that she just released. I talked about this in my last video, and I believe Jen might have a few boxes left. So if this wets your whistle and you decide you want to purchase one for yourself, head on over to her website. It's linked in my description. But Jen, thank you for sharing this with me and allowing me the opportunity to talk about how great you are on my Flosstube. So she put together a little note that goes with the box, and it's just bright orange, which it's a Halloween box, so that makes sense. I won't read that to you, so we're gonna open it together. So it comes in this nice box. It's tied up, and so let's untie it. Oh, and I should say, if you don't want to see this, you should skip ahead, and I'll put a note on the screen as to what timestamp you should go to. So, okay. All right, so I opened it up, and all the packages are numbered. Look at that, how fun. All right, so let's see how we're gonna do this. She's got, should we open them in order, you think? Should we open them out of order? What should we do? I'm kind of a rule follower. So let me get these in order and I'll be right back. All right, I have gotten everything together in order, and let's start. So number one is in this bright orange bag, and it is a chart, which you knew that going in that you were gonna get an exclusive chart. This is called Cauldron Boil, and it's by Rebel Stitcher. And look at that funky witch. I love it. Colleen's, trademark weird little cats and her wonky jack-o'-lanterns. I love it. Perfect Colleen, right up the alley. This looks like it's stitched. Ooh, it's stitched in NPI, so we'll see if that's what comes. It's stitched, it's 84 by 102, and it's stitched on a 40 count. So I'm not sure what count we got in our package, but we'll see what comes. All right, so that was item number one. Okay, item number two is in this cute little Happy Halloween bag. All right. Oh, wow. This is the fabric. And that is very green. So this is I believe it's 28 count, and it's a linen. And yeah, it's what that's called for. So I'm excited to get started on that. All right, number three. Oh, this is cute. Look at this little box. I've never seen a box like this. Number three. I feel like you could reuse this box. Is that the mom and me talking? Oh, wow. Okay. So this is a beautiful, luscious bundle of NPI silk tied with a cute little Halloween bow. And so all the colors you need are in there. I love this purple. That's a really good purple. And that looks like a nice palette of Halloween colors. All right, so we're starting off strong, guys. We've got floss and fabric and a chart. So really, I mean, what else could you want, right? Number four is in this cute little Frankenstein bag. Oh, cute. So these are a set of 10 floss drops that look like cauldrons. Look at that. I mean, I love that. And it comes with this cute little spooky tag. This is so nice. And I love these floss drops. They're made by Willoughby Ann. They say they're an exclusive to Floss and Flame. Sorry guys, I'm a little discombobulated. I've never done an unboxing before. So they've got a large hole for your main part of your floss, and then a smaller one for your remnants. These are cute. I wonder, they're exclusive, so I wonder if Jen will have them available on her website all the time. We'll have to wait and see. So now we've got floss straps. Okay. I like this bag so far. All right, number 5 comes in this cute little paper bag. Okay. Oh, it's a needle minder. Oh, it's cute. Okay, look at this needle minder, guys. I love that. I wonder if Colleen made this. It feels like maybe it could be one of hers. But that's a really cute one. Awesome. A needle minder. I love needle minders. Okay, number 6 comes in this vampire bag. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. What is going on? Okay, we have, so some things in here. I'm going to open this up. Oh wow, it's a fob, a handmade fob, and it's a little girl with her cauldron and a spider web. That's cute. I love that. And we also got, I've never seen these before, roly-poly scissors. I love this brand of scissors, Kelmscott Designs, yeah. Kelmscott Designs. I've never seen these ones, but I like those a lot. So purple scissors with a fob. Very nice. Okay. Are you sad that you didn't get a box yet? Because I'm really happy that Jen gave me a box because this is an awesome box. All right, number 7. Oh, nice. Okay, cool. So this is one of those snap trays that like you fold the edges up and you snap it together, but it's specific to Floss and Flame, and it's got the cauldron and the witch and the bats. So that's very on theme. Nice. Okay. Number 8 is tied up in a jack-o'-lantern. Let's see what this is. Wasp poison builds character. That's cute. So it's a nice jar. You could use this for orts. You could use this, you could decorate with it. This is cute. It'd be fun on a shelf. Yeah, this is awesome. Very nice. All right, number 9 is in another one of these cute little bags. It's tied closed. I wonder what's in there. Okay, so we have a Halloween branded nail file, which is appreciated. We have some lotion, Happy Fall Y'all lotion, hand cream, very nice. Okay, as a mom, I could always use more of this. Happy Fall hand sanitizer, and it's bright green. My daughter's gonna love this and want to use it. Oh, cute! And then a Halloween chapstick. I love that. What a great idea. Awesome. Okay, we are moving right along. That was number 9. We've got 13, guys. We're getting there. Okay, number 10 is in a cute little bag that's tied closed. I think I could sneak it upside here. Oh, yeah. All right, number 10. Oh my God, I love this. I love these pens. Do you remember these pens when you were a kid? They've got all the colors and it's one little pen. This little guy, look at him. This is a little short pen, but it's got all the colors on it. Green, red, blue, and black. Very nice. And then I've got a pen with a little pumpkin topper. Throw that in my project bag or in a little carry case that I carry with me. And then a pencil with a fun eraser. Nice, because I'm always, believe it or not, I need a pencil more than I think, and I never have one. So that's perfect. I'm going to sharpen that and get that going. All right. Number 11 is in one of these little bags. Oh. Nice. Okay. Number 11 is a piece of fabric to finish the back of your pillow. Cool. Okay, that's cute. This is nice. Okay, what's next? Number 12, and then another one of these little bags. Oh, this is rickrack, or not rickrack, pom-pom trim for the pillow. So a nice long piece of that, so when you make a mistake, you've got a little extra, because I will make a mistake. And then number 13, lucky number 13. It's a Taylor Swift reference if you didn't know. This is in another little bag. And oh, very nice. So they're two pins to put in your pillow when you're all done. This is so nice. Wow. I wonder if Colleen made these pins. I bet she did. Huh. Wow. Okay. What a great box. So you got everything you need to completely fully finish that pillow, except for the stuffing of your choice, obviously. And then she gave you some extras, like the Ort jar, and all of the like hand stuff, and the chapstick, and the pens. This is really great. Jen, bravo, good job. I would recommend you get one of these if you haven't purchased one of these boxes yet, guys, because I think that this is a great value. I'm not gonna lie, when I opened this, before I saw what it was, I thought it might be a candle, because she's, you know, Floss and Flame, and that's her thing, is she makes candles as well as her cross stitch. If you haven't tried one of Jen's candles, I recommend it. Her candles are wonderful. The scent throws really well, so I can light one and my whole home smells like it, and it's not too much. That would be what I would ask for next. Jen, if you do another box, put a candle in there. But yeah, this was great. It wasn't junky. Not junky, that's not fair. Some boxes get so far removed from the stitching, and I think for me as a stitcher, if I'm going to purchase a box that's cross-stitch themed, I want it to be stitchy stuff or directly adjacent, and Jen, you hit the mark there, so thank you. Floss and Flame has a great website, and I encourage you guys to check them out. All right, so some plans for until I see you next. I'm going to try to work on that project, that sewing roll, and maybe see if I can get it done. Looking at it now, I'm saying, why didn't you finish that? So maybe that'll happen, but now that I said that, it probably won't. And let's see, might help if I look at the right page of my notes. I am going to a retreat at the end of the month at Stitches Unlimited in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Teresa Vanette, who is Shakespeare's Peddler, she's going to be the designer there. I believe her piece is Christmas related, but it's at the end of October, so who knows what we'll do at the retreat, but I'm looking forward to that. I do need to stitch a small. There's a smalls exchange, and if you can't tell, I like to do those, so I'll figure something out for that as well. And then I need to finish up that wallflower stitching piece from my friend, my coworker, who's having her baby. I want to get that done nice and early, so in case anything happens, she has it and it's ready to roll. So this is her second, and her first son came right on time, or her first child came right on time, so we'll see what happens with baby number 2. Otherwise, just kind of see what happens, where the wind takes me. Yeah, I've stitched a lot more in the last couple weeks than I had the month before, and so hopefully that continues. But I was chasing the high of a new start, and at some point that's got to stop, because like I said last time, I've got a lot of whips, and I'd like to work on them. So if you have any creative ways of seeing progress on your whips, things that help motivate you towards a finish, especially on a larger project, that's what I've realized, is that if I can't even see the end, I struggle sometimes with motivation to get started or continue, to get started in a session or something. So if you have any tips, let me know. Otherwise, I plan to be back the very end of October. I haven't looked at the calendar. Is Halloween on a Thursday? Maybe it's a Friday. The last Friday of October, if it's Halloween, yeah. Otherwise, it would be like the 1st of November or whatever. But that weekend is when I plan to record and come back. So I'll see you then. If you're just here for cross stitch, thank you for joining me. Thank you for encouraging me, and I hope that I can have given you some eye candy or something to look for. And oh, P.S. the Jingle Ball tickets go on sale in the middle of the month, so check that out because there's a lot of really beautiful classes, and that's a wonderful event. Even if you don't take a class, for the $15 or whatever it is to participate, the shopping hall is always really great, and it's a fun way to get some community even if you're just at home. So until next time, take care of yourself, take care of each other, be kind, and if I could give you anything to do, I would ask that you reach out to someone who lives differently than you. Maybe they look different than you, maybe they practice a different religion than you, maybe their gender or sexuality is different than you. But reach out to them, maybe, get to know them in some way. And I think you'll find that you might be more alike than you realize. So thank you for being here. And now I'm going to talk about books if you stayed for some book talk. So lots of things to talk about, kind of a rapid fire thing here. I've got mostly pictures and then a couple hard copies to show you. So the first one I want to talk about is called The Marriage Act by John Mars. I gave this book 4 stars. It's kind of I think they call it speculative fiction. It takes place at some point in the future. They've moved way beyond the Alexa or the Google, talking voice in your machine in your home. And they've turned them into like listening devices for marriages, if you so choose. And so they've made it such that everybody wants to get married because there's perks that come with signing up for this marriage that has this digital aspect to it. And they listen in on your conversations. They send a marriage coach if your marriage is having problems. It's interesting, this idea of they being somebody. It didn't seem to be the government. It seemed to be someone who wanted to make money, could have such a say in your relationship and in your life, affecting things like your housing priority, things like your health insurance premiums, or even the times and places you were able to grocery shop. So futuristic, but in some ways I wonder, how futuristic are we from that? I'm not a big fan of those. I don't use AI, and I don't have one of those devices in my home. I'm a little paranoid. My dad is, he took him a long time to even use a debit card. So he's super averse to government being involved. I'm not quite that bad, but that's my holdout, is I don't use those things. But it was an interesting idea, and I appreciated John Mars's commentary on where this could lead. The next book I want to tell you about, I read for book club, and this is called Black Butterflies by Priscilla Morris. This tells the story of a woman who is stuck in Sarajevo during the Sarajevo siege, which happened in the early 90s during the Bosnian War. I didn't know anything about the Bosnian War, really, except that it had happened. It was a genocide. It was awful. I mean, that sounds really crass to put it that way, just so black and white. But it happened when I was, quite literally an infant, a child. And so this book just barely touched, and that's why I gave it a 4-star instead of 5. I wish that there would have been more information about the war, but I also recognize that folks don't pick up a fictional story to learn about a horrifying true event. But it's a love story in some ways. It's a story of human resilience in others. And again, it's a story of folks that might not be alike coming together and realizing that their humanity is what is most important. And so I would highly recommend this book. I'm actually going to pass it on to a friend here in Delaware. But it was great, and it wasn't too sad. I mean, there were definitely sad points, but I think that it's not too much of a downer. And if you are looking for something just to open your eyes to another situation, this would be a good one. It brought to mind even things like the war in Rwanda in the 90s, pitting two cultural groups against each other. The blockade and the story of the siege reminds me so much of what's happening in Gaza right now. And this author did a really good job of putting you right in that space, and I would just encourage you to check this one out. The next one is called People Watching. This is by Hannah Bonham Young. This is a romance. It is open door, so take that as you will. I really enjoyed this author's work. I don't think this was her best, but I did enjoy it overall. The premise, I'm on a roll here, guys. The main female character, her mom has early onset Alzheimer's and is pretty progressed in her presentation of symptoms. And so anyway, she falls in love. This young girl falls in love with a guy, and of course there's things, but I give this one 4 stars. Like I said, wasn't Hannah's best writing, and the story kind of felt overdone at times, but there were really sweet moments, and I appreciated her representation of an early onset cognitive disorder like Alzheimer's. So check that one out if you're interested. Next one was really popular last year when it came out. It's Everything is Tuberculosis by John Green. This was an easy listen for me. It was only about 6 hours on audiobook, and I flew through that. It was interesting. I learned a lot about tuberculosis. I saw what the hype was around his book, but I don't know if John Green's the right guy to be talking about tuberculosis. Something about it didn't sit right with me. I would have liked to see a more, this sounds really cocky. I'd like to see somebody with a more scientific background, maybe a greater understanding of the science, who could better explain things to us, and the implications that that's having around the world. This was more of a social exploration of tuberculosis, what happens to its victims or its patients, good and bad, if they can access treatment, what that looks like, and if they can't, what that means. It was good. I think it got people talking. It's unfortunate that the world situation is such, or I should say the humanitarian situation is such right now with the closing of USAID and the United States' vast withdrawal of social service programs around the world, humanitarian aid specifically. But I enjoyed the book, and I gave it 4 stars. The next one that I want to talk to you about was, I just finished it yesterday. It's by April A. Joy. It's called Star Spangled Jesus, and it is about the author's growing up in Christian nationalism and walking away from that. They call it deconstruction sometimes. This was fascinating. Again, I have an interest in religion, but it was also fascinating as someone who considers themselves a Christian to think about the ways that Christian nationalism can quietly enter Christian spaces. The conversation around what is the role of church versus what is the role of state. Do they, should they, can they intermingle or not? That's, our country is founded on the idea that they are separate. I think we're seeing more and more that they are becoming commingled. But this was a really, she's a humorist in some ways, so it was a little kind of easygoing in some times, and I wish that she would have been a little more serious about the situation. I'm not sure that this would be the book to give to someone who you're trying to convince is deep in the Christian nationalist dogma. But I think that for folks that might be curious, who might have an eye for something else or curious about if where they are really stands with what Christ taught, it might be a way to start the conversation. I gave this one 4 stars. Like I said, I wish it would have been a little bit more serious, but I understand, I found her on Instagram. She's also on TikTok. Her kind of shtick is that funny kind of eye-catching stuff, and so her writing followed that. So one that I'm currently reading right now is called My Friends. It's by Frederick Bachman. He's very popular. He wrote A Man Called Uwe. And this is another wonderful novel of his. I'm about 25% through, and I'm loving the story so far. So can't wait to tell you more about that one as I read it. And then one that's coming up for me that I'm excited to read is Hamnet by Maggie O'Farrell. It's a story of the plague, and I've heard that it's incredibly sad. But I want to read this because they made a movie, and it's coming out on Thanksgiving Day. and I saw the preview when I went to see Downton Abbey, and it just looks lovely. Just immersive, and I don't know, I felt like I'm gonna really like this movie. So anyway, that's not at all an explanation for you. You'll have to check out the trailer for yourself, but excited to read this book. It got a lot of talk when it came out. It wasn't necessarily something that I was so interested in reading, but if I'm gonna see a movie, I wanna read the book first, and my library had it available on audiobook, so I'm gonna give that a try. And then one other book that I picked up at the bookstore this week, I went to pick up something for my daughter who was going to a birthday party, but I saw this and I thought this looks like it's for me. So happy birthday to me. This is called Who Was Government? The Untold Story of Public Service. It's by Michael Lewis. And it's several essays by different folks that work in different departments. And so, but I'm just going to read to you. So it says like, the stories they found are unexpected, including a former coal miner devoted to making mine roofs less likely to collapse, an IRS agent straight out of a crime thriller, and the manager who made the National Cemetery Administration the best-run organization, public or private, in the entire country. So it profiles 8 different people or offices. I think I've said before, I was in the Peace Corps. I've worked in nonprofit work. I now work for the state government. I think there's value in giving back to our communities, whether that's in a true public service role like that or in something that you're doing as a volunteer or on the side. And so I'm excited to read this in this time where so many public servants are being demonized or criticized. I think that it will be interesting to hear the other side of that and see folks appreciated for the hard work that they're doing each and every day. So excited to give that one a go, and I'll let you know what I think. So that is all I've got for you today. If you made it this far, thanks for sticking with me. Yeah, my book selection got a little political, but that's just what it is right now. It's the world we live in. Be kind to each other. Be kind in the comments. And like I said, try to talk to somebody who's not like you. See what you learn from them. And I will see you at the end of October. Thank you for being here, and take care.